Many people spend years waiting for a massive financial breakthrough, a sudden raise, an inheritance, or a lucky investment. But those moments are rare. Real wealth builds through the almost invisible decisions you repeat every single day. The problem is, when you decide to take control of your money, you are immediately pulled in every direction. The internet is flooded with lists prescribing 20 different habits you need to adopt to get rich. However, behavioral science shows that attempting to integrate 20 new routines simultaneously results in cognitive overload. Your daily willpower is a finite resource. If you try to execute a massive overnight lifestyle overhaul, you will likely face a 100% failure rate as your energy reserves deplete. If you only have the bandwidth to sustain a few new routines, you have to identify which specific choices actually move the needle for your bank account. We are going to strip the emotion out of these 20 popular financial habits and grade them strictly on their behavioral return on investment. This means filtering out the noise until we isolate the 3 specific habits that solve your current financial bottleneck. Financial momentum stalls under a massive checklist. It triggers when you isolate the single bottleneck holding your current accounts back. To filter these choices, we evaluate them through a single tool, the effort versus impact matrix. This chart measures our options. The horizontal axis tracks how much daily friction a habit requires, while the vertical axis measures the compound financial impact that habit generates over time. We start with defensive habits. These are foundational, protective actions. You have to patch the leaks in your boat before you can row toward wealth. Take auditing your subscriptions. It sits in the low-effort, moderate-impact zone. It requires an hour or 2 of tedious administrative work to hunt down the streaming platforms you never use. But once they are gone, you yield permanent monthly savings with 0 ongoing daily effort. The 24-hour delay rule lands higher on the friction scale. When you force a pause before an impulse buy, your emotional spending logic resets. The craving fades and the cash stays in your account. But implementing this requires you to actively fight immediate dopamine impulses every time you shop. Defensive habits yield moderate returns, but they are a mandatory first step if you struggle with impulse control. You cannot out-earn a leaky budget. Once your spending is under control, your focus shifts to offensive habits. These are designed for people who have cash left over, but lack the daily bandwidth to micromanage every dollar. In the upper left quadrant, we find the habits that offer the highest impact for the lowest daily effort. This is the home of paying yourself first and automating your investments. These rely on a systemic mechanism. You set up automatic transfers to your index funds the exact moment a paycheck clears. By removing the manual step, you bypass the need for willpower. For a time-poor earner, trading a few stressful hours of upfront financial plumbing for decades of zero-effort wealth building is a mathematically advantageous trade-off. However, these systems instantly reduce your available lifestyle cash flow. If you haven't calculated your baseline budget correctly upfront, automation can trigger overdrafts. Setting these systems up once allows you to build wealth while you focus on your career rather than your spreadsheet. Eventually, your budget is locked and your investments are automated. To move past a stagnant income ceiling, you need active growth habits. This shifts us to the upper right quadrant of the matrix. This is where we plot 30-minute skill upgrades and daily networking. This involves dedicating 30 quiet minutes every morning to deep work, learning AI tools, coding, or sales. You are building the specific skills the marketplace currently rewards. This carries a severe trade-off. You sacrifice daily leisure or sleep for a return on investment that may take years to materialize into actual cash. Similarly, daily networking creates a compounding surface area for luck, but it requires continuous social energy and the willingness to face routine rejection. Active growth habits are exhausting and risky, but they represent the only mechanism to raise your market value after your defensive systems are already optimized. To turn this matrix into a blueprint, you must look at where your specific friction lies. Some need to stop leaks, while others need to scale income. This divide creates 3 logical paths based on your current financial bottleneck. These 3 archetypes help you narrow down which habits to prioritize today. For the overwhelmed spender, whose primary bottleneck is awareness, the stack is check balance daily, the 24-hour delay rule, and cancel subscriptions. This fixes the leak before attempting to invest. For the time-poor earner, who has high income but low bandwidth, the stack is pay yourself first, automate investments, and track net worth. This maximizes long-term returns with minimal daily intervention. For the ambitious optimizer, whose budget and automation are already capped, the stack is 30-minute skill upgrade, daily negotiation, and daily networking. This trades daily comfort for aggressive growth in market value. You must commit to your specific stack for a minimum of 90 days. At first, you will see no visual progress. You will feel bored and unmotivated. But day to day, a tiny habit doesn't look like much. Over time, the repetition builds, and the math starts moving faster. A chaotic pursuit of 20 goals creates friction. Real wealth relies on structural alignment, ensuring your daily micro-actions directly solve the financial bottleneck in front of you.